Very important time now for a new Deputy Eoghan Kenny, who introduces his very first private member's bill. And I call on you, Deputy Kenny, to move for leave to introduce the bill, which is the Education Medical Emergencies in Schools Bill 2026.
I so move.
You have 5 minutes, Deputy. Congratulations.
As you said, I am very proud to introduce my first piece of legislation into this House. This bill, the Medical Emergencies in Schools Bill, is about ensuring we can strengthen our schools to be safe environments for our children and for our school staff. Minister, this bill is both personally and professionally significant to me. In 2021, at 21 years of age, I got my first ever epileptic seizure. As you can imagine, very much so a life-changing moment. Over the course of the next 4 years, I got regular seizures, and with that an increase in anti-seizure medication each time. Not to get too personal, but I now take daily medication to prevent epileptic seizures, so my early 20s have been life-changing. With this, I turn to why this bill is professionally significant to me. I am a former secondary school teacher and was very privileged to teach in two wonderful schools, Coatford College and Mayfield Community School. I am proud to say that I taught fantastic students and worked with such dedicated and caring colleagues in both schools. However, Minister, I have huge concerns as to how well prepared all school communities in this country are and how equipped and trained staff are to deal with medical emergencies. This brings me to the main focus of this bill. This bill will ensure that the Minister for Education would have the power to introduce regulations to promote the participation of sufficient staff in approved courses of training in first aid for medical emergencies. This would cover the giving of prescribed medication to children and their own colleagues if they were presented with a medical emergency. I certainly believe all school staff over the lifetime of their careers will be presented with a medical emergency. On the wording of this bill, I have consulted closely with Epilepsy Ireland. I'm going to read some of what Epilepsy Ireland have said about this bill. Ensuring our teachers and educators are equipped with the information they need from the outset is the whole purpose of our calls for Seizure Safe Schools. This bill obviously expands to other medical conditions and not just epilepsy, but we are delighted to see legislation being introduced that could make Seizure Safe Schools a reality. I am proud to have close links with Epilepsy Ireland. They, like many other organisations, are fantastic in providing and promoting how we as a society can inform ourselves on how to deal with medical emergencies. Other deputies and the ministers here would be aware on Monday we marked International Epilepsy Day. Epilepsy Ireland have a very clear message. Time, stay safe. Time to seizure, stay with the person and make sure the person is safe. It is very clear, and I would encourage everyone to familiarise themselves with this message. However, this is just one medical condition. There are many others and do affect many students and their staff in our schools. In drafting this bill, I have engaged closely also with the 3 teaching unions. Naturally, with all legislation, there will be teething problems. However, I truly believe as a Parliament we can work through these issues that may arise, particularly around workload and liability for the benefit of our children and school communities. I'm sure we can work together to enact this legislation. Ministers, I believe this is positive legislation. It is about making sure our children and our school staff who have medical conditions feel safe going into their school environment each day. It is about ensuring parents in this country know that if their child has a medical emergency, there are school staff who can manage the emergency quickly and in an appropriate manner. Schools are wonderful environments. Our school staff work extremely hard day in and day out. They are valued members of our communities. Our children are really fantastic. They have such talent across so many fields. I am proud to say I've worked with so many of them, and any person who stands inside, and the Taoiseach will tell you this, stands inside in a classroom for a day will learn a lot more from these children than they thought they already knew. But we must ensure, as a House and as policymakers, that all school environments are safe, secure and welcoming environments. I commend this bill to the House.
Thank you, Deputy. Is the bill being opposed?
Not opposed, Ciarán Comhairle, and I want to compliment the Deputy on the timeliness of the bill after International Epilepsy Day on the 9th this week. So well done.
Thank you. Deputy, the bill is not being opposed, so the motion for leave to introduce is agreed. So I'd ask that you move to that the second stage be taken in private members' time.
I so move.
Thank you and well done. Thank you, Deputy. Is that agreed?
Agreed.
Agreed. Thank you very much.